Pardon the inferior editing quality, this is like my second win. This was a really good game. The last couple games that we played before this, people would land in the vehicles and take all the vehicles and just leave the area. So I wanted to make sure that I got a vehicle. And I happened to see this guy landing. So I decided I would grab the vehicle and go run him over and come back to my teammate, Purple Rehab. And it really sucks for that guy to just land and then a second later get killed. And just relentless too, like no mercy. I'm not just gonna let him get revived. And so I'm up in this building and I hear footsteps, so I run out and realize the footsteps are going all the way around the building. So I chase this guy around the building and in here and I knock him. And then I shut the door. And then I tell Purple Rehab that I've knocked this guy and got him trapped in this room down here and we should wait for his teammate to come. And so Purple Rehab runs over to wait for the teammate. And you can see here the teammate is coming. He's running real fast. No, I'm just kidding. I sped that up. But anyway, he runs pretty far, and gets there with just enough time to probably revive his teammate. But the truth is he ran all that way just to have this happen. It was an ambush. Before we ever made it to the significant battles in the final phases, there was a couple bots that we had to take out along the way, and kind of funny, like here, this guy, I wanted to let him crawl around and see if he would have a teammate show up. But I think Purple Rehab came around that corner and just kind of was, I don't know, like kill hungry, you know? He was just like, oh, there's an enemy. And he just took it from me. He just took my dang, why, you think, anyway. So this is the beginning of the longest firefight and probably the one we had the most difficulty with. We weren't ready when we decided to ram their vehicle and they messed us up pretty bad, so we kept moving. We passed this bot on the way to this hill overlooking a valley. So I take out this bot, and remember, this is back before I was even as good as I am now, which I'm still not that good, but I almost didn't kill that bot. Anyway, right here, I'm focusing on the enemy on the right, and you see that enemy on the left behind the tree right there. I mean, we almost lost this whole game right here, because I get knocked, and as Purple Rehab was coming to revive me, he almost got knocked too, which he wouldn't have been knocked, we would have died. But anyway, so we survived that little area. And so yeah, this is a whole overview kind of what we're looking at. They're backing up here from that house to the back of that shack. And here I run over to see what Purple's vantage looks like, and we talk about rushing, but decide to split back up, and I'll take the left and he'll take the right. And as I'm running up on the left, I throw some grenades, and I throw them very short. I don't know if I was aiming for the windows or over the house or what I was doing, but I threw those grenades pretty short. Well, the whole point of us pinching them is to just keep them distracted, to make them have to fight two different opposite angles. Right here, this guy starts trying to run for cover, and Purple Rehab is able to take him out at the last second before he was about to disappear behind that cover. Somehow we ended up on the same side of that house as each other, and we try to pinch them again. Right here, I barely noticed this guy, and I duck back into cover. He hits me, though, and I can't hit him. So here's another team that Purple Rehab and I are going to have to try and push towards. So Purple Rehab knocks the first guy. And then finishes him off. We're both taking shots at this guy. I remember at the time, I couldn't really see him. When you're playing this game, the little bright green and blue tags over their heads, those don't show up when you're playing the game, just to be sure. So Purple Rehab runs back. He retreats a little bit. I guess he didn't like his position very much. And he just wanted to play it safe. I run up and throw a grenade, and he waits to see that guy pull out. And he's able to finish him off. Now here we've moved up, and you can see our position on the circle. We're in phase 4. I could barely see that guy in the fog. After taking him out, I decided to open up a little bit, so I move off to the left, to the edge of the storm. And Purple Rehab takes out this guy, who's also along the opposite edge of the storm. And we start moving up in unison. And as I figure out there's 2 people in this house, I start pushing it. I get shot here and I veer off to the left. I cut out the explosion of the grenade that I threw here, but it just landed up there in the upstairs area and didn't hurt anybody. I healed. Purple Rehab is watching me from the hill behind me, so I'm kind of just waiting for one of them to expose themselves. Purple Rehab moves up the hill to get advantage on the shots that he just heard, and once he's able to see that guy, he takes him out. Now that he's taken him out, he feels probably a little safer, and he starts scoping out the house that I'm over by before he decides to run up there. So I tell Purple Rehab that I'm moving into the house, and I start moving in. And once I make eyes on this guy at the top of the stairs, I shoot at him a little bit. He shoots at me, but I'm like not even there. And we sit there. We have a little standoff. And I tell Purple that I'm going to wait for him to move up. As he's moving up, you can see him out the window there. I'm watching with my third person, and I see this guy move towards the window to see who's coming, because he hears Purple Rehab coming. And that's when I decide to take him out. So then I throw a grenade at the top of the stairs, thinking that the second guy up there is going to rush while I've got an expended clip and need to reload. But he doesn't. The grenade safely explodes. Then I go up to the doorway and I peek around the corner, and then I switch it to all chat, and I say for the enemy to hear, as if I'm talking to my teammate, "Yeah, I see him. He's in this room. I'm just going to throw a grenade in there." And as soon as I said that, the enemy heard me, and I think that's how I was able to take him out without getting shot pretty much at all. I mean, he must have shot me right in the foot.